You spent years working toward permanent residency in Canada. You studied here, got a job, followed all the rules. You're just one step away from PR. Then suddenly the government slashes Provincial Nominee Program quotas by over 50%. This isn't speculation, it is happening right now. Let's understand why this is happening and who is most impacted, and most importantly, what does this mean for immigrants and Canada as a whole. If you're new to my channel, my name is Gautam. I talk about HR, careers, life in Canada, and much more beyond that. Consider subscribing to my channel because it's a win-win. Your journey, my story. The PNP has been a major pathway for immigrants, allowing provinces to select skilled workers based on local labor shortages. And only in 2023, nearly 120,000 newcomers became permanent residents through PNPs, making up over 40% of all economic immigrants. And now the federal government is drastically reducing allocations, particularly in major provinces like Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia. And while this is not an exception for smaller provinces, even they did see an impact on that. And Newfoundland was able to negotiate and get those numbers back. And the major reasons that they cite are housing crisis, which is always on the top list. And you all know Canada is struggling with large set of immigration numbers over the last few years. And cutting PNP means it is going to ease the demand on immigration. And also their intent is to adjust the labor market. Especially the government wants to rebalance labor shortages by prioritizing certain industries over the others. And there is certainly a sort of a pressure on the public services, especially in the larger cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and where they have seen overcrowded schools, strained healthcare, and overloaded infrastructure. And in some provinces, we don't even have that. But while the government frames this as a necessary adjustments, the cuts could leave thousands of skilled workers in limbo. And this affects a massive group of immigrants, also the employers and the provinces especially. Because the provinces might have integrated the immigration plans into their budgets. And with these changes, of course, it's going to impact their budgets too. And mostly it's going to impact the international students and the skilled workers. And it is going to be tough for them to get a PR. If anybody says PR is easy, question them. And of course, employers are no exception. Even they are going to face worker shortages, especially the sectors like healthcare, technology, and the trades. They will certainly struggle to find qualified candidates. And provinces which are smaller, like Manitoba or Saskatchewan, over the ones in Atlantic Canada, may still have sort of a stable PNP numbers, making them as better alternatives because some of the students or the skilled workers might see those provinces as a less competitive, but still there will not be an easy pathway to it. And many rely on a PRP not only to boost their Sierra score, but that path is also shrinking. And the PNP quotas are just not about immigration numbers. They will also have ripple effects across Canada's economy and the community. And amongst those, the first one is labor market disruptions. By limiting the number of skilled workers entering Canada, businesses in high demand industries may struggle to find the talent they need. The locals may say that, oh, we have a lot of talent in Canada, but that's not the case. I'll talk about that in depth in another video. However, these changes could slow down economic growth definitely and innovation, particularly in technology, healthcare, and skilled trades. And of course, this also is going to create a regional disparities where larger provinces like Ontario, British Columbia will bear the brunt of these cuts, but smaller provinces that mostly depend on immigration to fill labor gaps may become more attractive destinations for several of them, and that's how it has been in the last couple of years at least. And this could lead to an uneven distribution of talent across the country. The housing, which is a favorite topic, while reducing immigration might ease housing demand, it won't solve the affordability crisis overnight. Because the housing shortage is driven by multiple factors, including supply chain constraints and rising construction costs. And lowering immigration may even reduce demand for new housing developments, impacting the construction industry. If affordability is a problem, then who is going to buy if immigration is cutting down? And thousands of immigrants who have invested money, time, and effort into building a future in Canada now face uncertainty. These abrupt changes could force many to reconsider their long term plan, leading to increased stress and instability. While this policy shift may feel like Canada is closing its doors to skilled immigrants, but that's not entirely the case. We should probably see Canada is fundamentally changing how it manages immigration, which is definitely a welcome move in one perspective. But the reduced PNP quotas make the journey to PR tougher. But the bigger question is, what is Canada sacrificing in the process? While the government aims to address housing and public service challenges, the unintended consequences could include labor shortages, economic slowdowns, and uncertainty for thousands of immigrants. Uncertainty for thousands of immigrants. And Canada, no one can deny, has historically relied on immigration for economic growth, but this move raises concerns about whether it is prioritizing short term challenges over long term prosperity. And if you look at the bigger picture, this isn't just an immigration policy shift, it's an economic shift. But what do you think? Is this the right move or could it hurt Canada in the long run? And if you find this video helpful, like, subscribe, and check my other videos on my channel.